So Murderbot,
Yes.
congrats on the nom. So when you first, going back to the beginning, read this first time you read the script, what was your gut reaction? Like, what were you most excited about?
Well, I was excited that this was a sort of human story, but about bigger themes. It's sort of about corporate greed and people sort of under the thumb of corporations and trying to just sort of live their lives. That was part of it. But I also loved that it was a comedy. And I was excited to do science fiction because I hadn't really, not like hard science fiction up to that point. So, there were all kinds of reasons. And then also, I love Paul and Chris Weitz, who I've known for many, many years. And so to finally get to design something with them, because I used to be their art director, it was very exciting.
Yeah, what I love about it is like sometimes in these sci-fi worlds, it dominates the story too much, the visuals, the sets. This one, always wants to make sure the character comes first. Well, so was there any, with that said, was there anything scene that was most challenging for you or set to design to make sure it stayed with the emotionality of the characters and didn't get overshadowed by the drama?
Yeah, it was never that hard because we all communicated really well. We all knew as the collaborators what the fundamental story was and what we really cared about, and it was important to ground the sets and the dressing and all of it in this understanding that we need to support the characters and that we need to tell you where they're coming from, particularly with Prez Ox, who are the main folks. So yeah, all of it was fun and none of it was harder than it needed to be.
Well, listen, we have a lot of students that watch who want to be production designers and art directors in the future. Is there any one scene or set you like them to look at? Kind of like, oh, I'm really proud. This one would be a good one to look at and study.
Well, secretly one of my favorite sets is the Secbot Factory, which is, I think, in episode 4 and 5. And part of it is that we had a lot of fun with all the elements. There was a lot of comedy that was embedded in the playback, in the lighting. We got to do an inflatable set, which was part of what the Prez Ox habitat set was. There's this feature in which everything's 3D printed and everything is sort of temporary. So we like the idea that here is this sort of third world, almost sweatshop type factory where they make robots and it's made out of inflatables, but they're like future inflatables. And so, I feel like that set really sort of distilled these ideas of current technology taken to the nth degree. So that was fun.